Mark Denholm.
I'm on the radio.
The music just turns me on.
Atom Radio.
Hello, this is episode 73 of the best bits of Drive Time, and this is Mark Denholm. How are you? Hope you're very well as you're checking out our podcast this week. The best bits of what's happened on Drive Time this week, including a relationship question, names of gritters. What about a haircut could possibly make me angry? I mean, a bald man getting angry over a haircut. A new meaning to happy hour, which lasted way more than an hour. Inventions that you don't know you need, but you really do. Online dating. How can it work? Recommendations of things to do before you're 25 and cost-saving tips for vegans as well. All that and more on the podcast this week. Here we go.
Atom Radio. Ooh, yeah. Playing the music you want to hear.
Mark Denholm.
AtomRadio.co.uk.
I've stuck something up on my Twitter and I don't know, maybe it's a little shallow, maybe it's a little vain. It's a poll from Monday morning. Is your partner the best looking person you know? Question mark. Remember, Twitter votes are anonymous, so no uncoupling should result. So far, I'm going to retweet this actually off of our account, but so far, the answer is no. That's worrying, isn't it? That is worrying. I genuinely expected a lot of people to come up with a yes answer, but so far the answer is a no. I'm going to retweet it and you can have your vote. It is open, I think, until 8 o'clock tonight, that poll. So, question for Monday, is your partner the best looking person that you know? Yes or no?
Drive Time with Mark Denholm.
422, these awards then that I'm thinking of, right? The Critics' Choice Awards took place at the weekend. We need to set up some form of, like awards thing. Maybe we'll have an online poll, but we need categories. On air at atomradio.co.uk. What awards can we give away?
Mark Denholm with Drive Time.
Now, this whole Noel Gallagher story I told you I was going to tell. New gritters have been launched in the UK. The City Council is asking for suggestions on Twitter and received more than 2,000 as to what they should be named. The catches 24 were then put to the final, to the public to have the final say. Now, there is now a gritter called, are you ready for this? Snoel Gallagher. I love that. There's another one called Gritter Thunberg. That'll probably be more useful than the Swedish teenager as well. And one after the ex-England cricket hero as well is called Spready Flintoff. Brilliant these are, aren't they? These have actually got nameplates as well.
Mark Denholm.
AtomRadio.co.uk.
This is Atom Radio, online around the world on a Tuesday. How are you? Are you all right? Work going well if you're at work, or have you finished school? I'm angry. What am I angry about? I'm angry because a mum says that she is going to declare her 8-year-old son non-binary so he doesn't have to get a haircut for school. Now, the kid is a model, apparently, but 3 schools have told him they will not accept him until he has a haircut. She's therefore going to declare him non-binary so he gets to avoid a haircut. Now, I have to say, he has got very long hair, and he does look a bit feminine in the picture. Farouk James, his name is, by the way, if you want to Google him. Anyway, I'm thinking this makes a mockery of the whole situation.
Drive Time with Mark Denholm.
You know, if you wear glasses, what do you do when it rains? I really hate when my glasses get wet when it rains. I've only worn them for like just over a year, but it really bugs me when they get wet because your human eyes don't suffer with that issue, do they? What do you do?
Mark Denholm.
AtomRadio.co.uk.
This is Atom Radio, playing online around the world, wherever you are. Thank you so much for sticking us on today. I want to say, Brexit is happening. Like it or not, it's happening on the 31st of January. Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister of the UK, has now urged people to crowdfund so Big Ben can chime at 11 p.m. on the 31st when Brexit happens. It's going to cost apparently £500,000 to get Big Ben back active. The House of Commons has decided they cannot justify spending £500,000 on having a celebration of Brexit. Whether or not you believe it's a celebration is a different thing. 24 appeals on crowdfunding site GoFundMe have currently been launched. The most successful, £215. That's somewhat shy of the £500,000 needed to get Big Ben to bong just to celebrate, if you want to celebrate, Brexit.
Mark Denham with Drive Time.
On Atom Radio, a Mexican man he's got himself in trouble, this Mexican man, and he's had to have surgery. Now, the man planned on having bedroom fun, shall we say, with a lady, and decided that he would take a stimulant. However, he's taken a stimulant that is used for breeding bulls, and this has caused him a problem or two. It left him excited, shall we say, for 36 hours.
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
Oh, ouch. The guy's 41 and he was going to have bedroom fun with a lady of 30 and thought, oh no, I'll be able to keep up. And instead managed to keep up for longer than he thought he would.
Drive Time with Mark Denham.
So inventions then that you never knew that you needed, that you probably do. This is shared to a website called Brightside. And this one I'm a bit confused at. A blow-up bed that basically fits across your back seat of your car with a bit that then goes down. And this to me looks very tailored to the car because there's a cutout for the center console on that as well. So I can't imagine that you just buy these generically and use them in your car, but then there's a bit that goes down to the floor, and apparently you can then sleep in your car. Only if you are less tall than the car is wide, otherwise it could be quite uncomfortable. This is one that a lot of people could do with, though. This is a car park here in the UK where the space marking lines actually carry on up the wall so you can see where you're parking if you're not very good. This one I think is very clever. Pensioners or wheelchair users in one lucky American city can tap their pass on the pedestrian lights for a longer crossing time. So you press the button, and then if you tap a disabled pass or a pensioner's pass on there, it will stay for you to cross longer. Meanwhile, one US user was delighted to find a coaster which charges your phone as soon as you put a hot or a cold drink on it. I don't know how that works, if it's a hot or a cold. I'm a bit confused by that one. In New York, 2 soaps in a restaurant, unscented for customer use before eating and scented for those to use after eating as well. Again, in the US, a fan discovered a great way to extend their vacation space and shelter it from the sun using a blow-up room complete with curtain and blow-up sofas as well. That's like something out of a cartoon, isn't it? In Switzerland, skiers are able to put their gloves and snow gear in the storage compartment integrated into the chairs. You lift up the chair, and underneath it, there's a little bucket where you can put your gloves and all your accessories and that. Back in America, they can put their phones in a special nook below the table, ensuring it takes up no surface space on the table. Which is all good until you then spill something over your drink, isn't it? One Japanese user of the website revealed the lifts in his office feature signs which light up when it's raining outside, so you remember to bring your umbrella. As long as you look at the sign, obviously, before you then head down the stairs. Elsewhere in Israel, a pet vending machine boasting an array of sweet treats for a hungry pooch. You can't actually buy the pet in there, but you can buy, obviously, treats for your pet. So there you are. That's some of the inventions. There are some more. Maybe we'll get through some more.
Mark Denham.
AtomRadio.co.uk.
Online dating. That's what I want to talk about now, right? I was discussing this with a friend of mine today, and she makes a suggestion about online dating, right? Now, I don't think, having thought about this carefully now, I don't see how online dating can work. I would love to hear from you on air at atomradio.co.uk. If you are a success story of online dating, maybe you are now married, maybe you've got kids, maybe you've been together a long while and you met through online dating. I'd love to hear from you if you are a success story, because like when you get into a relationship, you want someone who ticks your boxes, all right, whatever that may be. They've got to have similar interests to you. They've got to have a personality that doesn't clash with yours. And there's got to be something about them, right? And you can judge that when you meet someone. If you go out, say, clubbing, or you go out to the pub or whatever, or you bump into someone in the supermarket, in a coffee shop, or at work, whatever it may be, you can judge that because you get to know that person and their personality straight off. And you know, we've clicked, and you think, all right, yeah, let's get this sorted out. You know, we'll get together, all right? When you do it online, though, you do not get any sense of that person, do you? You are judging them on a picture. So online dating is therefore, in essence, a beauty contest. All right, you look at the picture and you're like, no, don't fancy her. No, don't fancy her. No, don't fancy her. And then you may be turning down people who aren't absolute stunners, but have the personality that entirely matches with yours. But you never get to know that from online dating, do you? So that is why I think it can't work, because online dating is, in essence, a beauty contest. You know, like if you're a guy, you're swiping through, judging ladies on how they look in their photo. If you're a lady, you're doing the same, judging guys on how they look in their photo, but you don't know anything about their personality. And that's why I think it won't ever work. On air at atomradio.co.uk. Are you a success story of online dating? Have you tried it and you think the same as me? I would love to know. Genuinely would.
Atom Radio. Drive Time with Mark Denholm.
Drive Time on Thursday. You know, I mentioned earlier that pilot at the age of 18, the UK's youngest commercial pilot. Well, the Duke of Edinburgh's Award have compiled a list of things that every teenager should do, what it deems a top 25 of essential activities. Get work experience or a part-time job is number 1. Number 2, spend time getting to know an older person. Number 3, become a mentor to someone younger. 4, volunteer for a charity. 5, join a club for your hobby. 6, go to a music festival or a gig. Finally something fun. 7, learn a foreign language. 8, set a personal physical challenge. 9, learn first aid. 10, learn to manage your own money. 11, travel somewhere new. 12, experience a digital detox. Oh, boo. 13, campaign for something you believe in. That's good. Get yourself a criminal record. I'm just joking. Do it properly. 14, learn to cook. 15, try veganism or vegetarianism. Get stuff. 16, spend time in nature. 17, carry out a random act of kindness. 18, learn about your history. 19, speak in public or in front of the school class. 20, create a piece of art or music. I could create you a remix, but I can't draw. 21, go dancing. I can't dance. 22, dress for yourself, not for others. That is something that a lot of people need to learn for definite. You get a load of, don't you, weasel men who control their women and say like what you can and can't wear, and that doesn't make you a man, it makes you a weasel. 23, engage in politics. 24, learn about climate change. And 25, have a conversation with someone you've never met before. Or in other words, as we were talking about in the last hour, try online dating.
Mark Denholm.
AtomRadio.co.uk.
Also in the news, a chef, Michelin star chef, has refused to serve vegan food in his restaurant because he does not think it offers value for money. Sat Baines described the food as the biggest rip-off for his diners due to the ingredients being cheap. The 48-year-old chef charges between £105 and £120 a head for his 7 or 10-course tasting menus at his restaurant in Nottingham. He does say you can't go to a heavy metal concert and expect classical music. The thing is, like, vegans could save themselves a fortune, couldn't they? Because while their meat-eating friends go inside and enjoy their meal, they could stay outside and chomp on bits of the greenery around the restaurant.
Drive Time with Mark Denholm.
I was just thinking about, Fleetwood Mac, for example, could be a burger, couldn't they? Fleetwood Big Mac. But then I was thinking, in the 80s, you had the solo artist, didn't you, that did Love and Pride, who could be Burger King, Love and Pride. Easy? Like, you could... are there any others you can think of? Artists that could easily be changed into food? I don't know. On air at atomradio.co.uk if you have got any.
Drive Time with Mark Denholm.
It's 11 to 7. I was thinking earlier, wasn't I, about food places like Fleetwood Big Mac, any of their songs, and of course Burger King, Love and Pride. That got me thinking about others that you could have. If you are a heavy metal fan, of course, you could have Iron Brew Maiden. If you're a fan of girl power, you could have the Spice World girls, you see? I mean, there are so many things you could have, aren't there? But then I'm thinking, like, can you name one? A band that could easily be changed to a foodstuff?
Atom Radio. Drive Time with Mark Denholm.
I've just thought of one more of those, like, band names. This is not a band, this is an artist that could possibly be converted to food. So I had Fleetwood Big Mac. I had Burger King, as in Love and Pride. Iron Brew Maiden. That was another one. And I was just thinking, you remember Marillion did the song Kaylee? Well, their lead singer was a guy who also had a couple of solo hits, didn't he? Like Incommunicado was one of his, wasn't it? And he was fish. Therefore, he could be fish and chips. Sorted.
AtomRadio.co.uk.
Oh, what about those band names, eh? Maybe I should come up with some more, perhaps for next week. I'm not here Monday, Tuesday or Wednesday, but I will be back next Thursday. I'm going to have a little think about band names or artist names that could be turned into food things. What do you reckon? I'm going to give that a go, definitely. If you've got any, email me on air at atomradio.co.uk and I will save those and I will use them next week if you have got any. We will have another podcast next week. It'll be episode 74 next week because this is episode 73. So make sure you subscribe on Apple, on Google and on Spotify. Check out the show, usually Monday to Friday. This week, due to other commitments, it'll be Thursday to Friday, online at atomradio.co.uk, on TuneIn, on iTunes Radio, and on your smart speaker from 3 until 7. Thank you for checking out this week's podcast. Now subscribe.
Atom Radio. Ooh, yeah. Playing the music you want to hear.
Mark Denham.
Atom Radio.